Assalamu alaikum. A very good morning to all present. आई होप कल का सेशन आप लोगों को थोड़ा टेक्निकल लगा हो और एक्सेल फाइल के बारे में थोड़ा आप देख पाए हो कि किस तरह एक्सेल फाइल हम यूज़ करते हैं. एक्सेल एज अ टूल हम यूज़ करते हैं फॉर अप्लाइंग डिफरेंट टेक्निक्स. So just a quick recap. Yesterday what we have done was we have used three approaches: weighted average, moving average, and exponential smoothing to predict or to forecast our demand. For that, which approach to use, we have two different methods to understand that what moving average 3.5 point 7 point etc which is best suited to my analysis. Then comes weighted average, what weights should we use, which will better denote my series and better predict my data. Then exponential smoothing, depending upon the alpha. If you have different alphas, alpha point 1, point 3, point 5, whatever alpha you wish to choose between 0 to 1. So the choice of alpha is actually very important when you talk about forecasting using exponential smoothing. So there is one method, graphical method, by which you can look at the graphs and then you can understand that which trend line is best fitted or best suited to my data. The another approach for that, what we have discussed, was errors: mean absolute deviation, mean square error, and mean absolute percentage error, that we can use to understand that what type of error, what type of basically technique is giving me less errors, and depending upon that, I will be choosing my technique or choosing my tools for analysis and for forecasting. Today, I will move ahead with that. As I believe Asif sir must have told you, there are two types of series. One is time series and another one is trend series. So time series के अंदर, when of course there is some one of the variable is time, and when you talk about some periods, based on that period you basically try to predict. Today I will touch upon two important factors of forecasting. Number one is seasonality in data. What do you mean by seasonality and how it may impact the overall forecasting? And the other aspect I will be touching upon is the linear trend or trend analysis using linear regression, that I believe Asif sir must have told you y is equal to a plus bx. So I'm not going into the details of calculation. You all must have done the calculation earlier. What I'll be doing is I'll be using Excel to do these calculations. And believe me, you can do that calculation very easily. You can use Excel for your good, for your benefits. And in the corporate also, if you are asked to forecast something, you don't have to take a copy and pen and paper to calculate X and then calculate mean of X, then calculate summation of X, Y and all that. And then you come to find conclusion. Excel is a very powerful tool. You can use Excel to basically predict what type of trend will be fitting my line. Sorry. So let me start with the example that I have given you. Example 5. Somebody has tried doing example 5, the Yellowstone National Park example. Has somebody tried to do that? I said try to do that. I'm not saying that you have found the exact answers, but I will recommend at least you should give it a try. At least you should have given it a try, and you could have tried finding answers, because otherwise it will be very tough for you to understand Excel. Anyways, so let me share my screen now. Sorry. So this is the example 5 that I have shared with you. I hope screen is visible to all.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So as we can see, a previous 110 years data has been given to you. The park, this is an example of a Yellowstone National Park example, where they have given year-wise data on the number of visitors that have visited the park right from 1904 till 2014. So what they want to do, they want to predict how many people will come in 2015. Why they want to predict? Because they want to make arrangements. They want to make arrangements like how many passes to issue, how many passes to print. How many what should be the security measures, what should be the first aid measures. Based on that, they need to decide, and if they have a clear cut idea, or you can say approximate idea, that how many visitors will visit in 2015, or let's say 2017 or 18, so they can make the arrangements accordingly. So for that, just a moment, just a moment. Yes, so National Park Service want to predict about that what type of data, what type of people will be, how many people will be coming in 2014 or 15 or 16 or 17 in the coming years, so they can do the planning for emergency services. They can do the planning for food, budget, etc. And they should understand that what type of ecological footprint it will have. Means when people come, they consume food, they produce waste, how to make waste disposals, how to make all these things can easily be managed if they are able to predict how many people will be coming to the park with some with some errors, of course. Means with some chances of error. We cannot predict 100%, but of course you try to predict maximum possible of forecast, so that you do your forecasting as accurate as possible, so that the national park or Yellowstone National Park people can have a clear idea how much people they'll be visiting. So let me, first of all, the very first step to understand that what type of data can be useful for you. You can use weighted average method here. You can use moving average method here. You can use exponential smoothing here. But I will be using the next type of technique, means linear regression here. First of all, let me draw this graph. Let me give you a clear cut idea what type of data points you are dealing with. Okay. As you can see here, this is the graph, and right from 1904, it shows this type of cyclical trends and all. And you can see there's some downfall here and upfall. So this is now You can use this whole data in predicting the next year, or you may decide that looking at the trend data of 1904 or data of 1905 until 1939 may not be that useful for you because it is showing very less progress. Might be the reason that the park has just started and people have started visiting the park. They after understanding that the park is good for them, and slowly the population is also increasing and people working in the urban areas coming from rural areas, they want some areas where they can relax, so and so forth. So I believe that what I understand is if we use data from right from the starting date 1904, it may not be able to give you the correct picture, but the last data here, I believe 50 to 60 years data, is giving a constant trend which I can see easily relate here. So if this constant trend can be predicted, it will be better to predict from this constant trend or otherwise predicting for right from the beginning. तो शुरुआत से मैं प्रेडिक्ट करना नहीं चाहूंगा, मैं चाहूंगा कि मैं वैसी जगह से प्रेडिक्ट करूं जहां से मेरी सीरीज में स्टेबिलिटी आ रही है. देयर इज सम स्टेबिलिटी इन माय सीरीज. So if I look at this graph, I can easily say that after 1960, I am looking at something which is more, stationary, or you can say more trend-like. तो ज़्यादा peak और ज़्यादा low values जो हैं वो नहीं दिख रही. When we talk about any method which involves mean in it, mean मैं यहाँ पे बताते चलूँ बहुत ही ऐसी टर्म है जो थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज कर सकती है किसी को भी. कि मीन इज अ वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग नंबर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं आपसे कहता हूँ कि मीन निकालिए 3 3 3 3 का, एवरेज ऑफ ऑल दीज नंबर्स ऑफ कोर्स विल बी राइट. अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ 4 6 और 2 का एवरेज निकालिए, सॉरी जस्ट अ मोमेंट. Sorry. Again, the mean is 3. So different numbers, but the same mean. The mean can be very confusing sometimes. And also the important problem with mean is if by chance there is an outlier. Outlier means अब तक आप trend में 3 3 3 3 देख रहे हैं. If I change this 3 by 30, it gives a mean of 9.75, let's say 10. So it gives a very complete different picture if we have some outlier. So that is why एवरेज की बात हम जब करते हैं तो बड़ा ध्यान से हमें चलना पड़ता है कि हम कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है देयर इज सम आउटलायर्स, देयर इज सम प्रॉब्लम इन द मीन. तो इसी तरीके से अगर हम इस पार्क की बात करें, इस ग्राफ की बात करें, एज यू कैन सी देयर कैन बी सम आउटलायर्स बिकॉज दिस डाटा, दिस ट्रेंड इज शोइंग यू वेरी लेस visitors coming to the park, and after 1960 or so the trend remains a bit constant. तो कहीं ना कहीं आकर मेरे लिए ये डिसाइड करना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि वेदर आई शुड बी यूजिंग द कंप्लीट सीरीज फॉर माय प्रेडिक्शन और वेदर आई शुड बी यूजिंग a part of the series or the latest figures for my prediction. इसमें हम 2 एग्जांपल लेके चलते हैं. लेट्स सपोज मैं लेटेस्ट 50 इयर्स की हम बात करेंगे यहाँ पर. लेटेस्ट 50 इयर्स. तो 50 इयर्स की बात अगर हम करें 2014 से अगर शुरू होता है, सॉरी 1990 50 points. नाइनटीन 65 से अगर मैं लेके चलता हूं, मैं बाकी डाटा भी ले सकता हूं, ऐसी बात नहीं है, दिस इज अप टू माई ओपिनियन, बट मैं ये मान के चल रहा हूं कि मेरी सीरीज जो मैंने ग्राफ से देखी है, मुझे लग रहा है आफ्टर दिस आफ्टर 1965 देयर इज मोर स्टेशनरी सीरीज, और मुझे एक ट्रेंड नॉर्मल दिख रहा है एज कम्पेयर टू द प्रीवियस डाटा। क्योंकि मीन के साथ दिक्कत मैंने आपको बताई, आउटलायर अगर ज्यादा होते हैं, नंबर ज्यादा कम होता है, तो इट मे हैव डिफरेंट ओपिनियन, डिफरेंट रिजल्ट्स। तो मैं एक एग्जांपल लेके चल रहा हूं, लास्ट 50 इयर्स डाटा, लास्ट 50 इयर्स को मैंने सेलेक्ट कर लिया यहाँ पर, द डाटा फॉर लास्ट 50 इयर्स आई हैव सेलेक्टेड, एंड देन आई मे ड्रॉ अ ग्राफ, द सेम स्कैटर प्लॉट। दिस इज द चार्ट आइटम में डाल देता हूं लास्ट 50 इयर्स। इयर्स डाटा मैं इसे चेंज कर सकता हूँ, उसकी कलर चेंज कर सकता हूँ, इसमें ब्लैक कर सकता हूँ, ये मेरे ऊपर है, दिस इज माय कॉल। मैं कंपाउंडिंग टाइप चेंज कर सकता हूँ, मतलब दिस इज मार्कर्स कैसे हो सकते हैं, मार्कर्स को ब्लैक कर देता हूँ आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग। चलिए वो तो खैर बात की चीजें हैं। तो मैंने यहाँ पर एक आपके लिए मार्क करके 50 इयर्स का डाटा आपके सामने रख दिया। दिस इज द डाटा फॉर 50 इयर्स, जो 1965 से 2014 तक आपको एक डाटा पॉइंट्स दे रहा है। इक्वेशन आपको याद है, इक्वेशन जो आसिफ सर ने भी बताई थी आपको, इक्वेशन क्या थी, कोई बता सकता है? इक्वेशन सीधी y इज इक्वल टू a प्लस बी एक्स। ये y इज इक्वल टू a प्लस बी एक्स जो है, क्या मुझे कोई बता सकता है इसमें x क्या है और y क्या है इस डाटा के हिसाब से? एनीबडी? x क्या है, y क्या है? सर ने बताया होगा व्हाट इज इंडिपेंडेंट हियर, व्हाट इज डिपेंडेंट हियर।
So x is years.
X is years, right? And y is the number of visitors. Because x हम x एक्सिस में वही लेते हैं जो चीज इंडिपेंडेंट, which is not dependent. Year is not independent on the number of visitors. In fact, number of visitors showing a trend that they are dependent on number of years. जैसे से years बढ़ रहे हैं वैसे visitors बढ़ रहे हैं। तो x is here means number of years, जो 2014, 13, 12 ये सब है, और y is the number of visitors. A and B are the constants. B का कैलकुलेट करने का फॉर्मूला सर ने बताया होगा, A कैलकुलेट करने का फॉर्मूला सर ने बताया होगा। फॉर्मूलाज आप कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं, आपकी मर्जी है, लेकिन आई हैव अ डिफरेंट इजी अप्रोच फॉर दैट विद द यूज ऑफ एक्सेल। एक्सेल कैन हेल्प यू इन calculating all these variables. What you have to do is just click here on the plus sign. यहाँ ट्रेंड लाइन का ऑप्शन आपको दिख रहा है, go to the trend line, more options. As you can see linear, यही लीनियर है, y is equal to a plus bx जो आप पढ़ रहे हैं यही लीनियर है, और the moment I click on linear there is a dotted line which appears on the graph, और जब इसी ग्राफ के ट्रेंड लाइन के नीचे मैं जाता हूं तो आपको दिख रहा है डिस्प्ले इक्वेशन ऑन चार्ट। I will click on here, display equation on chart. ये इक्वेशन में उठा के जरा क्लैरिटी के साथ यहां ले जाऊं। ये इक्वेशन आपके सामने निकल के आ गई, थोड़ी सी इक्वेशन को मैं बड़ा कर देता हूं। डायरेक्टली एक्सेल ने y इज इक्वल टू a प्लस बी एक्स आप जानते हैं, एक्सेल ने डायरेक्टली कैलकुलेट कर लिया y इज इक्वल टू 28,247.69 x माइनस 5,35,25,580.02। अब इसके अंदर a है और b जो आपने पढ़ा a प्लस बी एक्स, इन्होंने जो एक्सेल ने कैलकुलेट करा है bx प्लस a कैलकुलेट करा है, आप a प्लस बी एक्स जानते हो, बात वही है, कैलकुलेशन वही रहेगा। So this is a straightforward method where using Excel you don't have to calculate anything. You just go to trend line, and at the bottom of the trend line you go and you check that you want to display the equation. The moment you display the equation, this equation comes to your screen, and this is the final equation. Y is equal to 28.47x. I can copy that. I can use it for my calculations now. Y is equal to Y equal to this equation. जैसे ही मैं इसमें x डालूंगा मेरे पास y की वैल्यू आ जाएगी. तो जैसे y की वैल्यू नंबर ऑफ विजिटर्स है. अच्छा, थोड़ा स्क्रीन छोटा हो तो मैं बड़ा कर देता हूँ, एक मिनट. तो दिस इज द ट्रेंड लाइन दैट वी हैव गॉट थ्रू एक्सेल. आप अगर कैलकुलेट करना चाहें लास्ट 50 ईयर्स का, जो आपको फॉर्मूला पता है, बी का फॉर्मूला समेशन एक्स वाई माइनस समेशन एक्स समेशन वाई डिवाइडेड बाय एंड सो फोर्थ, आप वो भी कर सकते हैं. आप यहाँ पर ये भी कर सकते हैं कि डायरेक्टली एक्सेल के थ्रू कैलकुलेट कर लें. अब जैसे राइटली पॉइंटेड आउट वन ऑफ योर क्लासमेट्स दैट एक्स इज द ईयर्स, नंबर ऑफ ईयर्स. तो मेरे पास डाटा कितना था, 2014 तक का था. इफ आई वांट टू प्रेडिक्ट इन 2015 what is the prediction, and let's say 2016 and 2017. यहां पर मैं क्या करूंगा, ये मेरे पास x आ गया 15, 16, 17. y का फॉर्मूला मेरे पास मौजूद है. y का फॉर्मूला मौजूद है. तो what I will do is I will just replace this x with 2015. That's it. ठीक है. What I have done, I have replaced this x by the number of year you are trying to predict. Is equal to मैंने लगा दिया. Three lakh 39,000. Sorry, 33 lakhs 93,515. 33 lakhs 93,515. This is the projected value or forecasted value that we have forecasted using that equation y is equal to a plus bx. a क्या है, b क्या है, इसमें मैं डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगा. You all know that how to calculate a, how to calculate b. अब मैं इसी इक्वेशन को कॉपी कर लेता हूँ, यहाँ पर इसे पेस्ट कर देता हूँ. Same equation. Now I will change the number of year to 2016. I will get the results 34 lakhs 21,762. Same equation. I will change the number of year for 2016 to 2017. I may get this result 34 lakhs 50,011 visitors. So this is the way I use trend line or linear regression. Just a moment, just a moment. Just a moment, Ashish sir will be joining us in a moment. So I will be pausing this Excel practice for just for a minute. सो इन द मीन टाइम मैंने आपको बताया अभी जिस तरह से एक्सेल के यूज करके हमने y इक्वल टू a प्लस बी एक्स की ट्रेंड लाइन बनाई और x की वैल्यूज पुट कर करके वी कैन प्रेडिक्ट द वैल्यू ऑफ y. व्हाट वी हैव डन हियर, हमने येलो स्टोन नेशनल पार्क का एग्जांपल लिया जिसने 110 साल का डाटा हमें दिया एंड दे वांट अस टू प्रेडिक्ट दैट व्हाट टाइप ऑफ विजिटर्स, हाउ मेनी विजिटर्स मे बी विजिटिंग अस और विजिटिंग द पार्क. अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर. आसिफ सर.
Yes, Dr. Lame, I have already joined.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have
Please continue.
shown them some examples of forecasting through Excel, and I have given them this. Currently, I was discussing that example of linear regression, that how they can predict. I have given them the data of 110 years of number of visitors in the national park. Based on that, a graphical representation shows that early part was not that much important. So what I have done, I have predicted using 50 years data, latest 50 years data, and I have shown them then how to include this equation using Excel. You don't have to calculate anything. You just have to click on the graph and then use trend line and then use the equation. They can add equation using the plus sign here, going to trend line, more data, and they can, at the bottom of the screen, they have display equation on chart. The moment you display equation on the chart, the equation is already displayed. That equation is shown here.
Okay, that's very good. And
So that equation I
you
have
can
shown.
compare this equation with what we have discussed, y equal to.
Yes, I have shown them. This is the equation of y is equal to a plus bx.
Good, very good.
This is the equation y is equal to a plus bx that was being shown to them. And rightly pointed out by one of the students that x is the number of years. This is an independent variable, and y is the predicting variable, that number of visitors that we are trying to predict. Based on that, we have used this equation here,
Okay.
where where x is replaced by 2015 here. The moment I replace x with 2015 in the equation, I get some figure. So in 2015, we have predicted that 33,93,000 customers might be visiting our national park in 16 and 17, so on and so forth. So this is what we have done till now in this linear equation. And I was hoping to give them that they should use this same analysis for the latest 30 years data points. I have used 50 years data points. They can use this they can predict by using 30 years data points. तो हम ये देख सकते हैं कि 30 years data point के जो भी prediction आएगा वो यहाँ पर हम ये लिख सकते हैं prediction यहाँ पर. And based on that, they can decide कि 30 years का prediction. जी sir.
Is this the same file that you have shared on Google Classroom also?
Yes sir.
Okay. So
This is the same file.
now the students are left to download this file and they will attempt this linear regression on their own.
Yes sir. So I have shown them how to do that. and I have shown them for 50 years data points how to use 50 years latest data point to predict the next coming years 15, 16, and 17. They can I have and I'm hoping to give them an assignment that they should use latest 30 years to predict the next 15, 16, and 17's prediction on the number of visitors, and then they can compare.
Right.
Okay, sir?
Students, yeah, perfectly all right. So, student, this is a wonderful example that Dr. Lame is sharing with all of you. This is the present and this is the future of forecasting. And you have to learn all these tools, right? This is a very fundamental and basic analysis. As you move on, there are a lot of other advanced techniques which we will cover, some of which we will cover in this discussion of forecasting. So my request is that be participative, ask questions, seek clarification, right? You are lucky that you have a resource person like Dr. Lame who already have an hand-on experience to develop such type of data and sharing his experiences about forecasting. So feel free to discuss, okay? Dr. Lame, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Next point that, sir, I wanted to share with them is of seasonality and how to remove seasonality and what seasonality is all about. So, if you wish to take that protection, or otherwise, I should be going.
Hey, that's perfectly all right. The progression is perfectly all right. That after linear regression, we have to brief them about seasonal forecasting or seasonality in forecasting. But I doubt how many of them are aware of this term seasonality, because of the reason that I have not discussed this seasonality or trend or other types of fluctuation in the forecasting methods. So,
Okay.
how much time is left?
So, only 5 minutes have left. Today is Friday, actually.
Tomorrow we have. We have a class now.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow we have a class at 9:40, I believe.
9:40. So if you allow me, then tomorrow what I will do, I will first of all brief them about the fluctuation in the forecasting and why seasonality is important to calculate and what is seasonal forecasting method.
Sure, sir. Sure. No. So, if you allow me, let me. I want to show them the seasonality trend using very little example in Excel, so that tomorrow they should have an understanding what seasonality is all about.
Perfectly all right. Please go ahead.
Students, just quickly let me sum up what is seasonality. Let's suppose you have some data points for 2012, 13, and 14 for different seasons. Fall, not season means you can say the seasonality is different. Seasons are different here: fall, winter, spring, and summer. And if I ask you to draw the graph for them, first of all, what you need to do is you need to put them in line. Let me put them in line for you. And then select the data, and now I will insert some graph. Now if you can see in your screens, you can see there is some downward movement and upward movement, and there's a regular movement going on. This is known as seasonality in data, and this seasonality in data is difficult to predict if we do not deseasonize it. Deseasonize करेंगे इसे हम, लेकिन वो the sir will be taking the class tomorrow. So this is a quick example that what seasonality means: ups and downs of the data, where the data is not consistent, where you cannot use appropriate techniques without deseasonalizing them to a straight line, or you can see the best fit line. So that's all for today from my side. Any questions, you are always welcome to ask. Students, any questions, you are most welcome to ask. Sir, I have actually also taken up a class around 15-20 minutes earlier, so that people who have some difficulty in the previous session of Excel may come and may ask their queries. Now, few of them came and they asked about the queries, and I believe majority of them they have understood this Excel file because there was no queries from their end. So I suggest that, sir, this Excel file should be made mandatory for them to submit.
Yes, for sure. This is for sure, because theoretically we are telling them and it's already there in the book. But focus would be more on Excel data file and the results of the data analysis. And this would be the part of the examination, sessional, viva, everything. And
Yes, sir.
why we are making this compulsory? Not to make the things complicated, rather than to make you exposed to the real world problem. So actually, when you move to the organization, you have to face this data. Nobody is going to ask you what is seasonal forecasting. Everybody will give you the data and ask you to de-season it. वो आपसे ये नहीं कहेगा बताओ क्या पढ़ा है, seasonality क्या होता है. वो ये कहेगा कि ये डेटा है, अब बताओ what type of forecasting technique we have to apply. So this is what Dr. Lamy, somebody have asked this question: what is the difference between seasonality and periodicity? I don't know who have.
Yeah, the periodicity and seasonality. Yes, actually, you're Mohammad Usman, I believe.
Anybody who. So let me allow me that I would tell them the answer. See,
Yes, sir.
Two things are more or less same, but seasonality, periodicity is about the time data. Time. That is, periodicity means that, for example, if you are taking annual data, so every year your period is 1 year. If you have arranged your data in 6 monthly period, so every 6 months you have a data point. So 6 months is a period. So periodicity is in X and seasonality is in Y. तो जो अभी डॉक्टर लापे आपको एग्जांपल दे रहे थे और उन्होंने बड़ा अच्छा एक कर्व आपको दिखाया, which have high and lows, ups and down. तो ये जो ups and down थे ये Y value में था. This is in the Y value, right? That is seasonality. And periodicity is in the value of X, like year or monthly data or daily data or something like that. So this is the difference between periodicity and seasonality.
And so, when do we use the regression output? Like we can also find out the regression output through this through this table. So when do we use that?
Yeah, what do you mean by regression output? Regression output is A and B value. You know, y equal to a plus bx. So output of regression is to know the coefficient B and to know the intercept A. This is the output of regression.
So, but by using from data tab, we can also use the regression and a table forms itself. I was asking about that thing. So regression statistics, summary output.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you properly. Will you please repeat your question, Kanishka?
We can also use this table to check the regression analysis output. So we do it by clicking on the data analysis tab, then regression, then we put the inputs and one table is formed.
So she's asking about the R square table and all, regression table.
Acha, that output. Karisha, that's a very good question. Actually, there are other aspects of regression which we believe that at this point of time it is out of scope. That is why we have not discussed this point with you. Actually, what happened, that regression y equal to a plus bx. This regression equation, or in simple language, this regression model has its own explanatory power. We call it as explanatory power. ये कितना explain कर सकता है particular phenomena. So y equal to a plus bx, every model have its own explanatory power. R square is actually the measurement of that explanatory power. For example, R square is 0.46. Suppose R square is 0.46. So if you multiply it with 100, this will become 46%. So that means that 46% is the explanatory power of this forecasting model. So जितना R square की value होती है, that is the explanatory power of that forecasting model in case of regression. Higher the value of R square, better is the explanatory power of the model. So that is why, so when we calculate the output of the regression along with A and B, yeah, this R square which Dr. Lame has already highlighted, R square is 0.7851. See, multiplied with 100. So Kanishka कितना हो जाएगा अगर हम इसे 100 से multiply करेंगे? It would become 78.5%. That means the equation y equal to 28.497x plus this is having a explanatory power of 78%. That is 78% of y is explained by x in simple language. So this is what R square, which is, so generally we compare two different models of regression by taking their R square. अगर हमारे पास दो इक्वेशन है और कोई हमसे ये पूछ रहा है कि कौन सी इक्वेशन बेटर है आपके लिए, तो हम उसमें R स्क्वायर देखेंगे, जिसका R स्क्वायर ज्यादा होगा वही इक्वेशन हमारे लिए बेटर है। और भी छोटे छोटे और भी आउटपुट आते हैं जो थोड़ा सा अभी आप और एडवांस थोड़ा पढ़ेंगे ना तब आपको और क्लियर हो जाएगा। लेकिन ये अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा है आपने। अच्छा गुड।
Yes, a very good question, sir. Because what I have given them, I have asked them to predict themselves 30 years data point. तो latest 30 years जब वो कैलकुलेट कर लेंगे, जो इक्वेशन आएगी they shall calculate R square for that. और दोनों का R square कंपेयर करके पता कर सकते हैं कि 50 years का डाटा प्रेडिक्शन ज्यादा अच्छा होगा हमारा कि 30 years का डाटा प्रेडिक्शन ज्यादा अच्छा होगा। So that can be interpreted using R square. तो R स्क्वायर मैं दोबारा बता दूं, जो लोग नहीं देख पाए थे प्लीज देख लीजिए। प्लस पॉइंट यहाँ पर आप जब चार्ट में जाएंगे, ट्रेड लाइन की ऑप्शन आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी यहाँ मिलेगी। ट्रेड लाइन के नीचे जाकर मोर ऑप्शंस में जाएंगे। मोर ऑप्शंस के नीचे जैसे लीनियर आपने सेलेक्ट करा था, आप सबसे नीचे जाएंगे डिस्प्ले इक्वेशन ऑन द चार्ट, हमने यूज करी है, उसी के नीचे है डिस्प्ले R स्क्वायर्ड वैल्यू ऑन चार्ट। द मोमेंट जो क्लिक ऑन दैट R स्क्वायर वैल्यू इज डिस्प्लेड ऑन द चार्ट, आप उसे ऊपर नीचे मूव करा सकते हैं अपने कन्वीनियंस के हिसाब से। Yes, sir. Any other question, please?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, while calculating weighted moving average, how do we assign the weight to the previous data that you have given a question for exercise for attempt?
Anybody in the class? I have discussed this in the previous class. Anybody in the class can answer that? Wish to answer that?
What is the question? Can you repeat?
Kanishka Sana is asking that how you assign weights to the period. That previous weight will be 3 or 2 or 1, whatever. What technique you use to assign weights? Yes, anybody in the class? We have discussed this in the previous class yesterday.
So the recent trends are considered as high weights, while moving towards the lower parts, they are considered the low weights. For example, for the last current year, just the previous year is considered as the higher weight because it can be more relatable. And the years which are related to far years, like 2 years before or 3 years before, they are considered as low weights.
Sir, is it always 3, 2 or 1, or the numbers may vary? I mean, for all the data, is it 3, 2, 1?
Yes, Yash. Any answer to that? Saqib.
Sir, it is weights are decided by the manager. How much does he want to give the importance to the previous data?
You can use different techniques also, Sana. You can use focus group interview. You can use depth because you decide yourself how much weights. And let me tell you, if assigning the weights, numbers doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is that the latest data point should get the majority of importance. So depending upon what type of importance you are giving to that particular weight, you can use 3-2-1, you can use 4-3-2, you can use anything. Because as the formula goes, you divide that particular weighted average. When you take the weighted average, you divide it with the sum of all the average weights that you have assigned, 3 plus 2 plus 1. In that case, for example, I give 4, 3, 2, so then I will divide it by 4 plus 3 plus 2. So the overall impact will remain same. So this is up to you. This is up to the management. For that, you can have focus group interviews. You can have discussions with among the managers or with the top management. How much importance should be given to the previous year's data? That depends upon you. Asif,
And
sir,
sir,
yes, Sana.
so while attempting different techniques to that data, we have find that the number to 2015, the numbers are different to every technique. Then how do we get to know that which is the correct forecast? Which is
Sana, you were there in the previous class yesterday?
yes, sir.
Have you calculated mean absolute deviation, mean square error, and mean absolute percentage error also?
So that options have not come into my laptop, and that trend percentage, that plus option,
Okay, no problem.
that's why I was not able to.
This is why, Sana, we calculate all these mean errors to understand that what type of values are giving us more appropriate, more accurate results. Let me show you the example here. Just a moment. Just a moment. Let me show you with the example that I have showed you. This is the example that the same डे एंड सेल्स अमाउंट जो हमने आप बताया था आपको, उस पे एक्सपोनेंशियल स्मूथिंग अल्फा इज इक्वल टू 0.1 पे कैलकुलेट करा था हमने प्रेडिक्शन, एंड वी हैव कैलकुलेट एरर टर्म्स, देन वी हैव कैलकुलेट एब्सोल्यूट एरर टर्म्स और उसका एवरेज लिया था. तो यहाँ पर मीन एब्सोल्यूट डेविएशन आ गया था. आई विल बी शेयरिंग द रिकॉर्डिंग टू यू गाइज एज वेल, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. आई विल बी शेयरिंग द रिकॉर्डिंग्स इन अ डे और टू. मीन स्क्वायर एरर्स यहाँ पर हमने एवरेज निकाला था और मीन एब्सोल्यूट परसेंटेज एरर का यहाँ एरर निकाला था. सेम मैंने आपसे कहा था, यही चीज, यही जो मैंने आपको प्रोसेस बताया है, यू शुड बी यूजिंग फॉर अल्फा इज इक्वल टू 0.3. फॉर अल्फा इज इक्वल टू 0.3 मैंने कैलकुलेट भी करा था आप लोगों के लिए. तो वंस यू कैलकुलेट दैट, देन यू कंपेयर द मीन एब्सोल्यूट डेविएशन ऑफ दीज टू, अल्फा इज इक्वल टू 0.1 पे और अल्फा इज इक्वल टू 0.3 पे क्या आया, सिमिलरली मीन स्क्वायर एरर्स पे क्या आया, सिमिलरली मीन एब्सोल्यूट परसेंटेज एरर पे क्या आया. सपोज, लेट्स सपोज अल्फा 0.3 पे मीन एब्सोल्यूट परसेंटेज एरर 7% आती है. It means if I'm using alpha is equal to 0.3, the chances of error, the absolute percentage error is less in alpha is equal to 0.3 as compared to 0.1. So alpha is equal to 0.3 gives me a better analysis, better results actually, so which I can use in my prediction. तो ये decide इस तरह करते हैं error terms के हिसाब से, whether you will be using what type of smoothing technique or what type of forecasting technique in your data. I hope it clarifies I hope I am able to answer the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Asif sir.
Yes, Dr. Lamy.
Sir, should we call it a day?
Yes. I think you have chosen a very apt and very appropriate example for all the methods. And now today I realize that without these examples, I think the entire discussion is, without any purpose. Merely
Yes.
studying theoretical part and, is only 30% of the knowledge. 70% lies on the data file and the way you calculate. So thank you very much for all the effort you have put in selecting the right file and making the student understand the concepts. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
For the students, tomorrow Asif sir will be taking up seasonality, and you are requested to kindly be present on that. And I have also shared one of the optional file of airline case study, and that is a seasonal file actually, in which seasons have been shown and how to remove that seasonality, what are the steps of seasonality, and how to seasonalize the data, and then you actually predict the data. So that is very important for you to please be present on time. And again, I'm reiterating that I will not allow anyone after 5 minutes. I can have 6 or 7 minutes entry, no problem, but after that nobody will be allowed to enter the class. So please be on time. Thank you very much. Asif sir, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.